So here's a little trial run video that we're going to go ahead and do. If these work out, maybe we'll make some more. This is W6 KCE, sitting here in our constantly upgrading shack, and today we are working on ICom 2300H, and one of the issues that we have with this is a lot of the stuff we do, we actually need the Mars mod. I'm not going to get into legalities, technicalities, or anything else on doing these mods. They're there. There's legal reasons for them. There's other reasons not to. And you do whatever it is that you want to do. But most of the videos that I've found trying to figure this one out have been lacking a few things, namely good instructions and clear actual pictures of which diode we are removing, and disassembly of the face on this 2300. Now I understand that ICom's coming out with a new model to replace the 2300 soon, and you know what, it is what it is. Maybe this thing will get absolutely no views, but places like Gigaparts are fire sailing these little bastards right now for like 150 bucks, which is when we just picked this one up for a little, you know, VHF only rig here in the shack, and kind of try and save the wear and tear on some of my all mode transceivers. So anyway, here's the video. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is actually access the diode you have to remove, and it's actually going to be on the back of the faceplate. Now you can sit here and you can remove these cover screws, those cover screws. You won't be able to get the faceplate off. So what you actually need to remove is there's an Allen head screw that's right in here. Now, one of the main reasons I'm publishing this video, which is because there was another video online who claimed to be the next best thing, better, bigger, better, everything else. And he's saying, well, you got to remove one screw, which is cut off because you can't fucking film for shit. And the other one, he says, you got to remove the volume knob. Well, boys and girls, this is the volume knob. And if you remove it, there's not a damn thing behind it. But if you remove the VFO knob, there's actually a screw behind there. Let me show you. Okay, so here's our receiver. You're just going to use a normal slotted screwdriver, and you're going to put it in from the side here, right behind the VFO knob. Pry nice and little gently. I don't like to pry too much, and it just pulls right off. And then that, boys and girls, right there, that's your other Allen screw that you remove, not behind the volume knob. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's just say you're running the radio and you want to be able to transport it on a frequency that's outside of the normal amateur bands, which we all know is 144 to 148 on the 2 meter band. So let's just say 154.565. Now we can receive just fine on here, but if you happen to work with a local search and rescue and you're using a frequency in this range and you want to be able to use your radio to communicate with them, which would be 100% compatible within the rules and regulations to be able to modify this radio to do so. However, out of the box, if we go ahead and we try and key up on this radio on this frequency, we get the message that just says off. Basically says off band. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to show you a quick modification on this and get this thing so we can actually transmit on this frequency if we need to, in accordance with rules and regulations, or in accordance with whatever the hell you feel like to doing, because I just have my license. I'm not here to lecture you on how you use yours. So after you remove those two screws, next thing you're going to do, just face pulls out, and it's got a little tape. Remove the tape if you want to. Not really hard, it just pulls out. Kind of like your daddy shoulda, right? But he didn't, and here we are. Okay, so here we go. This is the VFO side. Directly over it, where you see the big chip down here in this little itty bitty grid pattern, this is where we're going to be working. Okay. Now that we actually are using a fucking tripod, which everybody else can't seem to fucking do, and we actually have it zoomed in properly to where this will actually fit in the frame of view, if you look, this little itty bitty diode, right there, that one I'm pointing at, that's the one that we're going to go ahead and remove. Now there's lots of ways to do this. You can crush it, you can desolder it, you can desolder one side, lift up the pin so that you can try and put it back later. Not sure why anyone would ever want it back in there after doing this mod. If you're doing this mod, you're doing it for a reason. But anyway, by removing that one diode out of the grid, then we're going to go ahead and open up all the frequencies so that we can transmit outside of our normal amateur band. And there it is. So just to give you an idea of what we're working with, that little black dot on my finger, that is the diode we're trying to remove. So for me, I found it easier to just heat it up and pick it up off the board with tweezers. But, you know, like I said, some people, they'll put one end up so they can easily replace it. I'm not even going to keep this fucking thing. I'm just going to throw it away, because I will never remod this radio back to its original condition. Okay, so that was pretty much it. So now it's time to just go ahead, put some bitch back together, which really isn't that difficult. We're just going to take the ribbon cable that we used, and these things just push in. Just don't force it. And if you're like me, maybe you should get your glasses on first, but we're getting it. You're just going to push it in until you got no more silver here, and you know it's all the way in. Seated firmly. And this is just going to go back up on the front. 2 Allen screws. One right here that's visible over the mic holder. And then the other one is right here behind the VFO knob. And then the VFO knob, sorry, we're a couple bourbons into the evening. Only goes on one damn way. Line it up, push some bitch on there, and boom, we're back together. Let's test it out. So we got everything back together, powered up, stuck it to an antenna, tuned back to the same frequency that said off before. We go ahead and key up. And we are transmitting full power through 154.565, which is well outside of the normal amateur 2-meter band, but within the limits of things like, I don't know, maybe your local fire department, your search and rescue unit, and any other reason that you may need to transmit outside a band and within the full receive capabilities of this radio. I hope this video helps you a little bit better, because the last couple videos I found trying to do this mod itself just plain sucked and we're lacking some information. So good luck.